Good morning, everyone. It is Taco Tuesday, May 25th, and here we are with our just kind of like an overall market look and a look at some plays for today. Now, here's a look at the S&P futures. You can see we are extending here, carrying on the futures, and the Dow are up 92, Russell's up. So we are extending. What I want to pay attention to is this is yesterday's futures. And you can see that we backed off on volume. So does that mean that we're going to turn? No, not necessarily. But what it does mean is that not nearly as many people, and maybe what you would call your big money, is participating in the move right now. Maybe they're waiting for news on infrastructure. Maybe they're waiting on news for, I don't know, monkeys are going to make a resurgence. I don't know, right? So we don't know what they're waiting for. But that being said, the market is, it's drifting higher. We're coming back in as we approach these highs, right? What can happen? Well, we get a little gun shy. Maybe we take a little break. Maybe we start a channel. I would argue that we are in a very big channel here. You can see it, that we've been in these levels since the middle of last month. Even though we might have come out for a day, the majority of our price action has taken place between, on the SPY, it would be about the 411 up to the 423 level. So, that's not really a big stance there. So be cautious. Be very thoughtful in your trade plans. Make sure you know where you might potentially want to stop out or take partial profits on the way up. Build positions. Those are all good options to take. All right, so this is what we look like here in the S&P. I'm going to take a quick gander over here at the NASDAQ. On the NASDAQ, what I very much do like about this, not that the volume came back in, but look at the moving averages. They are very tight. They were, had gotten a bit extended, came back together, and now we are making a nice move up. To me, I think we need to get through, I think we're right at that resistance area. I think we need to get through about, it would be about 1375 on the NASDAQ. So that's the area that I would potentially watch here. If we break that, we may actually make a nice little run before hitting more resistance. So that's how I look at the NASDAQ. And technology has been leading the way. We've seen some really nice charts. Apple came up, tested its 50. Facebook took a really nice move. I want to hop over here and talk about Boeing real quick. It was just posted in the room about orders, and this was what they looked like. Yesterday finally came up above this point of control. This morning, they are actually touching their 50. So keep that in mind as we continue along here and see how these play out. If you held into Boeing overnight, very nice. I would use that 50. If it pops above it, I would use the 50 as a stop. But it looks very good. Okay, I have quite a few charts to run through, so get your pens and paper ready, and I'm going to run through these fairly quickly. Let's start with the ones we were watching yesterday afternoon. NVIDIA has earnings coming up, Catalyst, so day trade only, and I would look at the near-term 625 here for a strike on NVIDIA, and I would use opening ranges for that. An opening range, like either 15, 5, 15, 30, whatever you're most comfortable with. Adobe, another one we looked at yesterday. We cleared out a lot of this volume profile resistance, made a nice move, hit that 20 and leapt up a bit here. On Adobe, I would watch the 716, 515s. Now, if I could type, it'd go a little faster. Crowd making its way here above this point of control. This is pretty extended, right? We look at this and we're like, wow, we're having really nice days, really nice days, really nice days. Holding fairly steady volume. We've backed off a couple of times. We have earnings coming up as a nice catalyst here. I would take a look at crowd as well. The 716 to 20s. Yes, they do have the earnings coming up, so If you don't want to buy the 716s, I would still look at the 220s. Twitter. Nice move here. Big candle, built in some volume, continuation here this morning. And we look at this, nothing, not very little volume that we have sitting in this big old gap. Love the gap. We talked about it yesterday morning in the watch list, getting into that gap, looking for a move up and through that gap and test that 50 and then push along on Twitter. Let me just see where that's sitting right now. It is sitting at 57.46, so nice room to the 50, which is just above 62. Okay, another one from yesterday, PLTR. This one, great one for equity. Like the look in it here, holding up over the 50, room to the 20 if you want to play the options in it, the 716 22s. Newmont Mining, love this like little, I'm going to call that more of like a little pennant that we're putting in there. Really want to see a decent close over 74.34 on that one. Watching the 716 15s. DDD, we've talked about, it seems like every day here in the last couple weeks, but look at this nice march up. Open candles, open at candles, open opportunity. We have volume decreasing throughout the volume profile, so plenty of room in there. Now, this one I would probably trade more as a day trade versus a swing trade, simply because we've had so many green days in a row. And let's face it, probabilities. You know, if you took statistics, everything's about probabilities. And here we go. Looks like we may make that move, but I think I would be playing this on the day trade and cautiously hold if I were to hold it overnight. WDC, all the Bitcoins, we'll look at Bitcoin here in a minute. All the Bitcoin plays, you know, Elon came out, sent it, soaring, it's pulling back here today. But where are they going to put all that? How are they going to store all that, mine all that? WDC, I think, is a great place to park it. They've really partnered up to do just that. 716 WDC 77.50. I want it over this line here, though, at 74.75. And ADI, so kind of a funky one. Big moves up, smaller candle yesterday, so we put in a red one on Friday, a little bit smaller candle than we had here, but look at that volume, it's still really good. I like this one for a play up to that 164 and a break of it. Again, probably not a super long-term trade, but one that I would be patient with. I like the 917 165s. Now, I will say this, if you look at that option chain, if you look back, the 155 has a lot of volume. So somebody got into these probably right at maybe the day of earnings, maybe the day before earnings, but that's kind of what it looks like. So those are well in the money. And so that's why maybe just be a little bit more cautious with that one unless you see more volume coming in, or play the equity in this one. Go back and look at Beyond from yesterday. Still like the 120s here. Plenty of room to the 50 and room up to that point of control area. I like Siri, we talked about yesterday. Anything over the 50, again, that in equity. The electric vehicle space, NEO, anything over the 20 for a move to the 200. The 250 would be pretty decent resistance if you get through that. That would then become a stop. XPEV bounced hopped on the 20 and jumped up there nicely. And of course, we were all talking about and watching Tesla taking a move over the 200 for a nice little close. We've seen this before, though, so we want to make sure that we get confirmation this morning. It is sitting at 610, so definitely needs to stay over that 200. Again, another great day trader. I like this right up to this fib line at 624. I think if we clear that, probably make a leg on up to about 640-ish. Okay, so that is my watch list for a day. If you have any questions, please reach out. Oh, wait. Wanted to take a... On Boeing here, we did just talk about the orders on this. Again, I don't play it, but a day trade up to the 50, and then the 50, once it gets to the 50, if it holds that, I think that's where it becomes a swing trade because there's a lot of room for volume in there. Bitcoin, right, pulling back a little bit here. Big candle yesterday, pulling back a little bit, wait for the reversal, and then things like Mara and Riot really took off yesterday after that tweet concerning Bitcoin and that Elon put out, so keep an eye on that. Great day traders, very volatile though. All right, if you have any questions, please reach out. My name, Heather C at givingtreetrading.com, or you can hit me up in the chat room or on Twitter. I am there as well. Send me a private message. I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday, and I will see you soon.